So you've loaded up Hunt Showdown for the first time, you don't know what it's all about, so the first thing you want to do is go to the library tab and hit the manual. This will open up an external web page with a PDF of the game manual, and in that is going to be all the information you need about the keys and the heads-up display and how to recruit hunters and the types of things you're going to encounter in the game. So have a little 10 minutes reading through that and familiarise yourself with what you're going to be coming up against. So you spent 10 minutes looking through the manual, you've got a bit more idea about the game and what you're up against, so we need to recruit a hunter. So on your hunters tab you can either click play or you can click recruit, and it will come up with a selection of hunters that you can hire. They are randomly generated, they come with a different primary, different secondaries and a variety of tools, consumables, and some of them will have particular traits. You're not given a lot of ammunition when you start the game, so it may be an idea to pick a hunter that has a primary and secondary weapon that both use the same ammunition. Then you'll be able to use the reserves you get for your pistol in your rifle, which gives you more shots with your main weapon without having to find extra ammo in the map. Each of them comes with a tool, so you've got things like first aid kits, electrical lamps. They also come with consumables, so you've got things like dynamite, you've got antidote shots for when you get poisoned, you've got stamina shots to repair your stamina, you've got health shots, and the traits at the bottom are things which will give you extra abilities, like Frontiersman says you can carry an additional tool. As you progress through the game, you'll get to know which items are more valuable for different bosses, different situations, and you'll begin to build your own loadouts how you want to play the game. So at the bottom it tells you how much they cost to hire, at the top it tells you how much money you've got, so you can choose whether you want to hire one of these for the price that they currently cost, or if you don't like the look of the selection you've got there, it's not going to cost you anything to have one refresh. You can click new recruits and it will give you another selection. So these have all come up with different things. He's got a sawn-off shotgun as his primary and a pistol. The ammunition types are different. He comes with the knife, which is excellent for dealing with grunts in melee. He comes with a dynamite stick, and they've all got different benefits, and it's going to be up to you as you develop, gain experience, to decide how you want to play the game and what weapons you like using, what traits you want to have, and what perks, consumables and tools you want to take with you. This guy comes with a silenced pistol, which is quite a high rank to have unlocked for you to be able to buy in the store, so I'm going to go with him. The cost of each hunter is generally relative to the type of equipment they've got, so I've paid $115 and this guy now belongs to me. Once you have your hunter selected, you can then modify his loadout with anything that you've got in your inventory, things you've bought from the store, things you've bought from other hunters that you've recruited that you've not taken out with you. So these are all items that I've got kicking around in my inventory. You won't have too many things when you start out, so this will be as you progress during the game. So you can click on each slot and you can select something different. This has got an electric lamp. I'm going to play a daytime raid, so it's not going to be too handy for me to have that, so I can just click the cross, take that out, and I'm going to take a knife as my melee weapon. And then in here I'm going to take a stamina shot, and I've got a health shot as well, which is going to be handy. Because I've progressed through the ranks a little bit, I have access to some more items in the store. So here you've got the machete, which is $13, and its heavy melee is absolutely fantastic, and it will take out grunts and armored grunts as well in no time whatsoever. So you can see that you need to be rank 50 for the saber, and then it will show you all the different types of item that you can buy, what rank you need to be and how much they cost. So if you've got the money and you've got them unlocked, you can buy whatever you like, and you can then remove different things to your hunter to tailor it to have the guy set up however you want to tackle the game. As you progress through the ranks, you unlock better and better weapons. So you've got things like this, which is the single shot sawn-off shotgun, and this one also has a melee attachment, so you can see the heavy melee damage of that is going to take your enemy down. Same as the Talon, it's got a melee weapon included in it. So this is a long range rifle, it does excellent damage and it's got a lot more range. So each weapon has its own benefits and its own drawbacks, and again, you'll tailor it however you want to have it to set up for however you want to play the game. You've got a variety of consumables you can unlock, so I'm going to take some fire bombs because I'm going to be going to try and hunt down the spider, and setting him on fire is a good way of getting his health down. So now I've bought these fire bombs, I go into my hunter, I can now add it to my inventory in the tool, and I've got 4 slots, so I've added a fire bomb. Because I've got 2 fire bombs, that's taken up the 4 slots if you like, so I can't now add anything to the 4th slot. So we're getting pretty much ready to get going, so take a little look at the upgrades you can have. When you escape with your hunter, your XP you get will level up your hunter, and each level you go up you'll receive an upgrade point. So you can trade these upgrade points for different things like extra health and different traits, and there are loads of different traits you can unlock as you go through the ranks. So you can have your stamina recover a lot quicker, different things. You can reduce the time needed to bandage when you're bleeding. The quartermaster one is probably one of the best ones early on, because that means you can carry 2 primary weapons if you like. So you can have a long range rifle and you can have a shotgun to deal a lot more damage close up. So we just have a little scroll through and look at all the different traits you can get and what ranks you're going to need to unlock them and what they give you. So all these things are generally for much later in the game, but they're things to be aware of and things to aim for, so you don't lose hope when you get completely ruined early on. So I've got my guy set up, I've got him pretty much how I want, so you click the play button and then you go into the mission screen. So this will be the map with all the different places where you can spawn. You can see the types of contract available, and you also set your player region. So you want to make sure that you're playing on servers that are close to where you are. So I'm in the European region, I've got that selected. Now you can choose what type of boss you're going for. You've got daylight and you've got nighttime missions. So there's currently 2 bosses, which is the Butcher, which is large and resilient, he's immune to fire, and it gives you the hint that you should kill him with shotguns and explosives. The spider is fast and agile, it's immune to poison, and it's saying that you really need to kill it with gunfire, but setting him on fire is another good way of getting it down. You can choose to go solo, or you can choose to go random. If you go random, it will just assign you with a random player, and you use the in-game voice chat to communicate with each other, but anyone else that's in proximity will be able to hear you talking. You can also invite anyone from your Steam list that has got the game. So I'm just going to go with a random guy. It's saying it's hooked me up with this guy Dallas, and I can click ready up, or you can use this chat to communicate. So generally you just say hello, work out if they speak the lingo, and if they haven't got a mic or you want to get it sorted out before you go in the game, you can say, you know, I want to go and camp the extraction and wait for someone else to kill the boss, and then we'll kill them and take the bounty. How does that sound? So you can talk to the guy that you're buddied up with before you go into the raid, and you can also use the in-game voice chat once you're in there. So that's enough tactics. I'm readied up and we're going to now head off into the raid. You wait for your partner to click ready and off you go. So we've spawned into the round, we're waiting for other players. There's my buddy standing right there, and it takes a little while for everyone to synchronize and for the game to get going. So while you're waiting, you can take a look at the map. It'll show you where you are. That's you, is the little blue dot. These black circles are the extraction points. There's 3 extraction points on the map, and they're random. They're different on every game. And these little wagons are resupply points, which we'll take a look at. And again, they're random on the game, and the boss can be anywhere on this map, and it's down to you to look for the clues to find out where the actual boss is.
Amen.
So you can see my buddy there's talking to me using the in-game voice chat. It's proximity chat, so the further he is away, the less chance I have of hearing him. I can talk back to him and we can communicate, but be aware that other players that are close by will be able to hear. So there's no hipfire in this game, so pressing left mouse button will perform a melee attack with whatever you've got in your hand. So there are 2 types. Left click will just perform a standard melee attack, and holding down left click will charge up for a heavy melee attack. Each type of melee attack will deplete your stamina bar, the yellow bar at the bottom, so once that's out then it takes a lot longer to perform a melee attack and you do a lot less damage, so you need to be mindful of your stamina. Pressing right click will bring up your general aim, and then you have to zoom in by pressing shift. So if you want to carefully select a target, then you're going to need to aim in completely. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but you'll soon get the hang of it. So you need to activate your dark sight, which will show you little blue lights, and that is the direction you need to head to find your first clue. I'm getting out my melee weapon because any grunts I encounter I want to take them down quietly, and ammunition is quite rare in the game, so you need to make sure that you conserve it for when you really need it. And as with this game, sound is everything, so you don't want to be loosing off shots unless you have a silence weapon, because it's going to tell other players where you are and it's going to draw zombies in. So the silence pistol is great for taking out these hives, which you don't want to get too close to unless you've got a real good heavy melee weapon, and you can take them out from a distance. No one hears you doing it, and you don't have to get too close and get poisoned by the flies that she emits. Hives can be a real pain if you don't have a machete, so I can see another one here. I'm going to take her out. I'm going to try and shoot her in the head, which she's carrying on her arm, and down she goes. Again, it's all completely covert and I've kept myself safe while I'm doing it. So out with the melee weapon, and we're going to go and take ourselves down a basic grunt. So I'm just going to approach. You can get quite close to them before they realise. Hold down my left mouse button, charge up a heavy melee, and they go down with one shot. But you can see my stamina's depleted, so I don't want to get too involved with anyone else before that bar is refilled. This guy on the left is a meathead, and they are a real pain to deal with, but they've got very limited eyesight and sound, so it's going to be much easier to just circumvent them. So I want to find my first clue to try and locate this boss, so I use my dark sight and it tells me that I'm very close to it. You can see the flashing, and here is my first clue. And to activate it, you just press your interact key, whatever you've set that to, and it says map updated. So if you open your map, it will now grey out a proportion of the map, and you know that the boss is somewhere within the light coloured part of the map. So you now want to find your second of 3 clues. So on with the dark sight again. I can see it's over there to the west using the compass at the top of the screen, and we're going to head over there and we're going to try and find that clue and narrow down where this boss is. So we've headed west, we've kept checking our dark sight to make sure we're on track, and I can now see from the glow that I'm very close to it. Just got to work out a way of getting up there, and we've got ourselves our second clue. Try not to make too much noise, trying to creep about. I'm keeping an eye out for any other players that may be coming for the clue or trying to kill me. I don't want to upset too many people if I don't get into a fight if I don't have to, so we're going to make our way up here and we're going to pick up the second clue. There's an armoured grunt in this shed, and I'll just show you how you can get into trouble with your stamina bar because the knife isn't really man enough to take him out. So I've taken 3 heavy melees and he's still not down, and it takes 3 standard melees as well, but because it takes longer to do those standard melees with no stamina, he actually managed to get a shot on me, so I've lost myself a health bar. I found the second clue though, so I can now check the map, and it's now showing me that it's narrowed down quite a lot where this boss is going to be. I've lost myself a health bar, so I need to try and find a health kit to try and restore that. As you explore the map, you will come across a number of useful items. There's ammunition that is littered around, but it is weapon specific. There's things you can interact with, so if it was dark you can turn out a lamp. There'll be distractions you can use as well, motors you can start up to try and distract your enemies. This will all come with experience. As you play more, you'll get to know the sort of places you can go to find the things that you need. So So we've got ourselves some ammo here, that goes in my gun, and I'm now full so I can't pick up that amount of ammo. Over here we have an oil lamp, which is great for taking down hives and armors. You use them by holding down your right mouse button. When you press left, it will come up with an aim path, let off the button and you will start a fire. Also, if you've killed an enemy player and you're not sure if he's got a teammate or not, you can set fire to his body and that will make the body shout out, telling you that he has a friend somewhere nearby. While I'm locating clue number 3, I can check my map and I can see that there is a resupply point between me and my next clue. So I'm going to head over to that and try and get myself a health kit, and if I was low on ammo I could get some ammo there as well. So I've made my way over to the resupply point and I'm going to see what I can find. The ammo boxes you'll find here will refill any type of ammo, they're not weapon specific, and it's single use for each player, so you can only use it once. The medkits you can only use in situ, you can't take with you, but using any of these items doesn't prevent another player from using them later on. So it's back on with the dark side. I can see I'm close to my next clue, so I'm going to head over there and we're going to try and nail down where the boss location is. Now that I've got the third and final clue, the map is going to tell me exactly what compound the boss is going to be hiding in. Then it's going to be up to me to find whereabouts within that building that boss is hiding. I haven't encountered any other players yet, but I need to have my wits about me because the closer you get to the final boss location, the more likely you are to run into other actual players. If you are injured and you don't lose a complete health bar, then that health will regenerate back to full strength over a short period of time, but once that part of your health bar has gone black, then you will need a medkit to restore it. You can see here I took on multiple enemies with low stamina, so my melee power is very low. It takes longer to perform the melee attacks, and if I don't keep moving I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, so really need to keep a good eye on your stamina bar and make sure it's charged up before you encounter any type of enemies. I've reached the part of the map where the 3 clues have narrowed down to the boss's location being, and it's now up to me to locate exactly where that boss is and decide whether I'm going to try and take him down or whether I'm going to wait for someone else to turn up, wait for them to do my dirty work and then try and kill them. So bosses are generally in buildings which have different levels, and quite often there's different ways of getting in. Some of the entrances are blocked, so you've got to find a way of getting in. And once you get in and you locate the actual boss's lair, I'm smack bang on the point, it then comes up and says kill spider, so that's the boss I'm currently trying to kill. The icon in the top left now has a red ring around it, and that indicates the boss's health. So as you attack the boss, that red ring will deplete until it goes completely black, and then you'll be able to banish the boss. Once you have that icon in the top left, you can also leave the compound and use that to see if anyone else is engaging the boss, and you'll know from a distance. If you've entered the compound and you can't immediately find the boss but you can hear it, you may need to find different levels to try and locate him. So we've gone up to the top level and there he is. So I'm now going to engage the spider, and as you can see I've put 3 or 4 shots into him and it's not taken very much damage at all. So we're going to need a lot more firepower, try and set him on fire. If we had dynamite we could use that, and it's going to be much easier if you and your buddy attack him together and you can get him to go down a lot quicker. Once you finally take the boss down completely, you need to banish him. So approach the body, press your interact key, and the banishing process will start. Now this is going to take a couple of minutes, and while it's doing that, it will place this icon on the map for everyone to see. So anyone that hasn't located where the boss is yet will be able to see someone's killed him, someone's banishing him, and exactly where that location is. So you're going to need to be on guard for anyone that's approaching to try and take you out before that boss gets banished and they want to take your bounty. The icon in the top left will show you the banishing progress in terms of percentage, so you can keep an eye on that. And also you're going to need to be aware that anyone that sees this on the map is going to think, right, which exit location are they going to be going to, and they could be heading over to the nearest one, and they're going to be waiting there for you to turn up with the bounty. So you've done all the hard work, they kill you right at the extraction, and they get away with the bounty. It's taken a couple of minutes, no one's turned up, and the spider has finally banished, so it will say collect the spider bounty. Now there's 2 bounties with every boss, one for you and one for your partner. My partner's dead and I can only carry the 1 bounty, so I've picked it up and now the fun really begins. While you're carrying a bounty, you will have this lightning above you at all times, and anyone using their dark sight can see it right across the map. So any other player on the map is going to be able to see exactly where you are and track which direction you're going in. While I was waiting for the banishing process, I made my plan of where I was going to extract. I worked out exactly where it was on the map, and I got myself a compass bearing so I can just peg it straight towards that direction and get there as soon as I can. I've been lucky on this extraction and not encountered any other players, but this is where you're most likely to come across someone waiting at the extraction to take you out, so I'm going to keep having a good look around for anyone. There may be someone chasing me, and I like to keep moving at the extraction point, so if anyone does turn up, they have to aim at a moving target instead of you being sat there presenting a lovely headshot. And there we go, extraction complete. So now we're going to look at the XP we're going to get for finishing this game and how it works in terms of leveling up your hunter and leveling up your bloodline. Mission summary will come across and will say everything you've done during the game, everything you've killed, all the actions you've performed that have gained you XP, and because you've survived, all of this XP is going to count towards leveling up your hunter. See that to get to level 2 you need 100 experience points, and as the levels go up the requirement to make the next level goes up as well, so we'll see how many levels I get for all this experience. And underneath your hunter level you can see little red diamonds which indicates how much bloodline experience you're going to get. So you're going to get 250 experience on your bloodline for 500 experience points on your hunter, and again that goes up as you go through the levels. So we'll see how much I get for all that I've completed there and see what it does to my character and what it does to my bloodline. So I've leveled my hunter up to level 12, it's given me 11 upgrade points and it's given me 750 XP for my bloodline rank as well. Bloodline rank is permanent, and that is what you use to unlock items in the store and unlock traits, etc, etc. So we're going to go take a look at the hunter and see what we can do with it. Looking at my hunter screen you can see I'm level 12 with 11 upgrade points to spend, so if I click upgrade I could add 50 hit points of health, so that will add another 1 big health bar to my player. I can also add any traits that I've got unlocked and that I can afford with the upgrade points that I've got. Any upgrade points you earn are specific to that hunter only, and when he is dead those upgrade points are gone. If you don't survive a game, then all of the actions you've completed during the game will earn you XP, but you will only receive half that XP, and that goes onto your bloodline. So we'll take a look at the types of enemy you're going to encounter in a game, how best to take them out, and what sort of XP you'll receive. So first up you've just got your basic grunts. They come in 2 forms, which is one carries flames, they can set you on fire, and the other ones carry hatchets and will just generally do melee attacks. Next you've got the hellhounds. These generally hunt in packs, usually 3 or 4, and if you get swamped by them they can be difficult, but they're easy to take down with melee, and you're going to get 20 XP for each one you kill. Next we have the hive, who has poisonous flies. When she attacks you then the flies come to you and they will poison you. She's easy to take down with a flammable attack, and if you are attacked by the flies and they're poisoning you, if you can rush her and melee attack her, when she dies all her flies die too. Now we've got an armoured grunt. These are relatively easy to take down with heavy melee with a hatchet, and 3 strikes and they're down. That's going to get you 60 XP. A better way of taking them down is with an oil lamp. As soon as you set them on fire they become completely incapacitated and they die really quickly. Finally, we have the meathead. Now, these are followed around by these leeches, and when they attack you, they will poison you. When you're poisoned, your vision becomes obscured, and you're going to be a lot easier to kill. If you're going to want to take one of these on, then this is not how to do it. Because they hit hard, they're fast, and they're determined, and you'll very quickly be dead. So my advice is to just avoid them completely. They're very easy to get around, but if you're going to take them on at range. But as you can see, you're going to be using all your ammunition up to try and kill one of these, and for the 100 XP you're going to get for him, it's just not worth it. So you can see I've used pretty much all of my ammunition up trying to finish him off, but just like the hive, once the main enemy is down, then his leeches die with him. With sound being such a critical part of the game, there are a number of environment triggers that can give your position away to your enemy, with the main one being crows. Now these are littered all over the map, and when you go near them they will fly off into the air and they'll make lots of noise, and you can see that from quite a way away. So these environment triggers are only triggered by human players, not by the zombies. Next thing up is going to be dying horses. If you go near those, they'll start to neigh and try and get up, and an enemy will know you're there. There's also the chicken coop. When you go near those, you're going to set those off. And the attack dogs. All these can be heard from quite a way away, so you need to be careful. There's also a number of items in the game where if you walk near them, you walk on them, chains hanging, glass on the floor, then your enemy is going to hear that and they're going to know that there's a player approaching. So that's about it for now. I hope this has given you a much better understanding of how the game works and has put you in a better position to go out and claim yourself some bounties. It's a really great game. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, I'm sure you're going to love it. So I'll catch you on the flip side.